Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Mandy and we are at the grocery store. So I've been thinking about what is going to be the most helpful for me to be frugal, to feed my family, something delicious but affordable on a budget, but also something that's going to help you guys. So I know that we're all in different places in life. Some of us need a extreme budget, like 10 bucks. Some of us, we're good with 20, we're good with 25. Some can do a budget of 50 and some can do a little more. So what I was thinking was, each week for the next few weeks, I want to pick a different price point, and I'm going to go into the grocery store and get what I can with that amount, and then I'm going to see exactly how many meals I can get from that amount of money. So I'm going to start this week extreme. I'm going to go in with $10 and I'm going to get some items, and I'm going to see exactly how many meals that I can get from just $10. Okay, so I went to the store yesterday, and then I had some things that I had to do yesterday evening, so I didn't get to film basically the grocery haul. But like I said, this is an extreme week, and I went extreme, y'all. So you may not have a ton of variety, but I am going to be keeping bellies full. I'm also keeping this very extreme because I'm not using anything out of my pantry but salt and pepper and some kind of fat. I'm going to be using probably vegetable oil. You use whatever you have. I'm assuming you've got salt, pepper, and some sort of oil, butter, fat of some sort. Okay, so I think that I'm going to be able to come up with 3 meals for my family from this $10. My total was $9.76. I had it planned out to go right up to the penny to $10, and I was going to be able to get one more item than I got. But they did not have one of the things that I priced in my planning process, so I had to get something that was a little higher priced. That being the plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I'm using this as a substitute for milk and eggs because some of you think that milk is cheating, and I'm not a cheater. So this time we're going extreme. But I wanted to get the Great Value brand, which was 62 cents, I think. They were out. All they had was the flavors, and I don't want the flavors. I want it to be plain. So I had to get the name brand, and it was twice the price. So that caused me to not be able to get one of my items. And when we get to that meal, I'll talk about that more. But let me turn you around and show you what I got for $9.76. And we're gonna feed my family 3 dinners. $9.76 doesn't look like a lot, but I have high hopes that I can turn this into 3 delicious meals. And remember, this is extreme budget. This is called, I only have $10 I need to eat. So there may not be a ton of variety. There is not fresh fruits and veggies, but this is gonna keep you full. So I've got 2 pounds of long grain rice. My family prefers white rice, and it was 2-pound bag. You could get a 1-pound bag of brown rice cheaper if you needed to cut your budget even smaller. But this is what I got: 2 pounds of white rice. I got a pound of red kidney beans. I got one of these John Morrell's smoked sausages, $1.22. Good buy on that. I got this bag of pepper and onion blend from the freezer section. It's yellow onions, red bell peppers, green bell peppers. It's a cheaper way to get all those veggies in. 1 green pepper alone is like 70-some cents. So I got that. I got 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes. I got the kind with onion, celery, and green bell pepper. Again, just to add more flavor because I'm not using any other seasonings. I got Jiffy corn muffin mix, and of course that Chobani plain Greek yogurt. So we're going to be turning all of this into some meals. The first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to start sorting my beans and soaking them. These beans are going to go in 2 different meals. So I'm going to go ahead and soak those, and then I'm going to get those in my Instant Pot so that I can have these ready for the 2 meals I'm going to use. So I'm going to cook them in my Instant Pot after I soak them for a few hours, and then I'm going to be halving the beans to use in 2 different recipes. And we're gonna let these soak for a few hours. My beans have soaked for a few hours, and now I have drained them, rinsed them, added fresh water, and now I'm just adding in about 3 good pinches of kosher salt. I'm also going to add in a ton of pepper because remember, I'm not using any other seasonings. So I'm just going to add the salt and pepper to my red beans here, and I'm going to put that on the bean setting on my Instant Pot, and I'm just going to let that cook. Next, I'm going to be preparing my rice. So I look on the back here, and I'm going to make what the package says is 8 servings. So I'm going to measure out 2 cups of rice. I am going to kind of rinse off the rice, measure out those 2 cups, and then I'm going to be adding that to my pot. I still have a ton of rice left. I'm then going to be adding 4 cups of water to the rice. I'm going to let that come to a boil, and then I'm going to cut the heat on low and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. While my beans and rice are cooking, I want to take this moment to tell you about a special friend, Brooke, over at Southern Frugal Mama. She shares lots of extreme budget grocery hauls and meal plans, and she is so fun to watch, and she surely knows how to stretch a buck. So if you've not checked her out, you definitely need to check her out. Her channel is great, and I'll have it linked down below. So here is my rice once it has cooked down. I have fluffed that, so that is ready to go. Here are my beans. They have finished cooking. So let's flavor these red beans and rice up. So I'm going to take this 1 can of diced tomatoes that I have. I'm going to pour that into my beans. I'm also going to be adding in half of this bag of pepper and onion blend. I'm going to save the other half for another recipe. And then I'm going to be turning on my Instant Pot to the saute function. I want this to heat up enough to help cook through or heat up, I don't know, those frozen veggies with that canned tomato product. So I'm just going to put this on saute and let this go for just a few minutes. I reserved about half of my beans here into a casserole dish for another meal, but I still have a ton here, and I'm going to be serving this over the rice. So here is my bowl with those red beans with all of the peppers and onions and tomato loveliness on top of my rice. I'm going to taste this for you, but I want to show you what we have left. That's just 1 serving. That's my serving, and I still have tons of the red bean mixture, and I still have a ton of rice. So here is my bowl of red beans and rice. Let's get to tasting. Okay, so here are my red beans and rice. I'm so excited because I'm so hungry, because I've been so busy today, hence why I look like this and my kitchen looks like that. So I'm gonna kind of give this a mix all those beans in with that rice. My goal with this, look at that, oh my gosh. My goal with this challenge is to try to figure out how to pack as much flavor in and as much bulk in as possible for the least amount of money. So this is not a gourmet meal, but I think by adding in those diced tomatoes and then that half a bag of the pepper and onion blend, I mean, this looks really good. So let's give it a taste. I hope it's not too hot. Okay, here we go. That's good. And I only use salt and pepper, y'all. I would have loved some chili powder, garlic powder, some heat. I'm keeping it real. But you know what? It's good. It's very good. And it's filling. And I like it. I've already got some of the beans already packed up over there on a casserole dish that I'm going to turn into something magical tomorrow. But I like these red beans and rice. I'm going to take this in here. I'm going to pop on some Netflix I'm gonna enjoy my dinner. This is good. Okay, so this is day 2 of the $10 challenge. And so I have taken what was left from last night's dinner. There were 5 servings each. I took what was left of the rice and beans plus the beans that I saved. I put those in a casserole dish. I'll show that to you in just a minute. I also added 1 more cup of cooked rice. It's made a ton of food in that casserole dish, and I'm going to top it with cornbread today to make like a crust to make this into a casserole. I saw a hack where you can use plain yogurt instead of the milk and eggs for the Jiffy cornbread mix. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get dinner started. So I saw online where if you don't have the milk and eggs or the money for the milk and egg for this cornbread muffin mix, that you can use a plain non-fat Greek yogurt. So that's what I'm adding here. I also saw where you needed to add in like 3 tablespoons of water. So that's what you can see me doing here. This did stir up and have the consistency of cornbread when I am using the milk and the eggs. So I'm just going to be giving this a stir. I will say that once I put this on top of the casserole, it was not as liquidy. I don't know if that's the right word, but it wasn't like as thin as when I do make some cornbread. So I may add more water if I did this again, but I just spread this out as best I could on top of those red beans and rice. And then I'm going to be baking this in the oven according to the cornbread package directions. So that was like 350 degrees, 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And this is what it looks like out of the oven. This actually smells really good. And the cornbread added a sweetness, and this is going to make a big 6 servings. So here is my plate. Let's get to tasting. All right, so our casserole is out of the oven. It's just the rice and beans from yesterday with a cornbread topping. This made like 8 servings. So let's taste. That's really good. And the cornbread on top added a sweetness and a crunchiness that makes it taste like a completely different meal than yesterday. I'm pleased. And that made a ton of food. Like a good 6 to 8 servings. So that's a win. So here's what I have left. I have already cooked up the rest of my rice. I have that on the stove. I have half a bag of this pepper and onion blend, 1 can of diced tomatoes, and that Jim Morrell sausage. So I'm going to be taking all of this, and I'm going to be making a sausage and rice skillet. So I'm going to cut up my sausage. I'm going to be getting that in the pan, and I'm going to have nothing left. I would have used everything that I bought in this $10 challenge, and we are going to finish it up with a sausage and rice skillet. So I added a little bit of vegetable oil to my pan, and now I'm just sauteing up those smoked sausages that I cut up. I'm adding in the rest of my pepper and onion blend here, and I'm just going to give that a stir and let those frozen veggies kind of heat through, and then we will be adding in our cooked rice. I am going to be adding in just salt and pepper, and that's the only seasonings that I've been using this week. So now that I have added in my salt and pepper and I have sauteed these veggies with the smoked sausage for a few minutes, I'm now going to be adding in the cooked rice. Again, this is about a cup and a half. Before I cooked the rice, there was a cup and a half of rice left. So this is how much it made once I cooked that rice up. So here is what the skillet looks like at this point. I'm now going to be adding in my can of diced tomatoes, and this is making a ton of food, and it smells really delicious.
So I let that sit and simmer for just a couple minutes, and this is what the skillet looks like once it is complete. This is a big skillet. I'm even kind of showing you here like the size of the skillet in comparison to my hand. So just to give you a reference of how much food is actually in that skillet. So let's plate this up and then let's get to tasting this sausage and rice skillet.
So we're gonna taste this sausage and rice skillet. That's what it looks like. It smells really good. Let's see. Sausage, peppers, onions. Let's see. That's good. The sausage adds a really nice flavor. And then the tomato, the diced tomatoes in with the rice. Well, there's rice. I think it's really good. This sausage and rice skillet made a very big 4 servings. Okay, so the first night's meal, there were 5 servings each of the rice and beans, so 5 bowls. Then I took that, repurposed it into the red beans and rice casserole with the cornbread on top. That made 6 servings. So that's 11 servings. And then if we add these 4 big servings of sausage and rice skillet, that's 15 meals at $9.76. So yes, we ate a lot of rice. Yes, we ate beans. We ate peppers and onions and tomatoes. Today we got some of that smoked sausage, but we have been full. So you can definitely make 15 meals for $10. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.